What's going on, everyone, and welcome to a new video on the channel with the Mitsubishi FTO. This is such a blast from the past. I love this thing. I genuinely love this little car. So back in the day, me and you, baby, we used to have fun, right? Anyway, no, back in the day, we used to have a very weird little rivalry, I guess you could say, between Honda and Mitsubishi, because they both had super similar type of cars coming out from their respective brands, right? They've had the Civic, which would go ahead against the Mitsubishi Colt or the Mitsubishi Mirage. Then we also had the this, right, which was technically like the bigger, I guess, version of the Mitsubishi Colt. I mean, this got replaced, right? Or sorry, the Mitsubishi Colt / Mitsubishi Mirage got replaced by this thing, this FTO, which just looks so much cooler and so much better. The thing is, though, I really love the coupe of the Mitsubishi Mirage. Is it the Cyborg? Is that what it's called? Or is that the hatchback? I can't remember. One of them is called the Cyborg. I just remember that. But they had, obviously, the Mitsubishi Mirage, which was a two-door coupe, which is basically like a rival to the Honda Integra back in the day. And then, obviously, they ended up replacing the Mitsubishi Mirage with this. This is the Mitsubishi FTO. Same sort of setup as well. I'm pretty sure this is also 1.8 liter, or is it 1.6 liter? I don't really remember. We'll have a look now. Anyway, it's got, oh, it's a 2 liter. Nice, even better. It's got a 2 liter with variable valve timing, which is the MIVEC system, or MIVEC, however you want to pronounce it. That's also Mitsubishi's variable valve timing technology, which is super similar to Honda's. It's just such a cool and quirky car. I think it looks really good too. It's just so period correct. Kind of reminds me a tiny bit of the old Hyundai coupes as well. Just with the way the shapes kind of flow with this thing. Well, I'm telling you, Mitsubishi was super underrated back in the day. I think they made they made the Evo, and then everything else under that, I think they just kind of, they didn't really do much, or I guess a lot of other brands kind of overtook their cars. I really like this though. I really like the FTO. I think it's a very cool car. 1998 as well, and plus this one's the version R as well, which is some crazy version of this thing. So and that's what it sounds like. It's a 2 liter variable valve timing. It only weighs 1,150 kilos. I think this could be an absolute riot to drive. We could change it to a 2 liter 4-cylinder turbo, or we can give it the raw engine, which I don't really want to do. And then we can also, we can also do that sort of stuff, the aspiration swap, which I'm not going to do. Also front wheel drive as well, which is something that I didn't really mention. As for body kits, I kind of want to rice this out. I mean, these are the only ones that we really have available, which is not really much, to be honest. Also, I forgot to say that this is a brand new car that I've added into the game. With this, I actually really like the stock wing, I'm not gonna lie. I think the stock wing just looks really good. This is also super period correct. Honestly, because they made the actual supports for this thing, I can't remember what they're called, for the disgusting Forza wing, because they made the supports really wide on it, and they stick out really wide, it actually doesn't even look that bad. It's kind of like an altered crappy Forza wing, which actually doesn't look that bad. I'm gonna stick with the standard wing though, unfortunately, because that thing just or sorry, not unfortunately, but it just looks really good. What do I want to do with this thing? Well, I want to give it some beans. I want to try and change a couple of things on this car. I'm very surprised that we only have a front bumper for this thing and nothing else around it. Isn't that a bit strange? Am I the only one that thinks that? Also needs to be a lot lower, and it also needs some wider wheels, because we're kind of stuck on whatever these are, 205s or 215s or whatever. Yeah, I want to try and get this thing to race. I think I might race this thing a little bit. I might just still keep it as a front wheel drive, because it might just be really fun as a front wheel drive car. But I want to kind of race this thing and see what we can do with it. Do I go with just full on slicks? I think we probably do, right? I'll try and build this up, I think, with the standard engine as much as possible. Yeah, we were 205s. 205s, we go 245s all around this time. I'm also going to change the track width because it is disgusting. Just the first step. Seems to be fine. I don't really want to get this thing to be ugly looking either. Alright, as for the wheels, it has to have some sort of a Japanese type wheel going on. Something, again, very period correct. I mean, we could obviously change it to something that we just like anyway, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. But if we put something that's kind of, you know, period correct, something that would go on this thing. I mean, like I said, initially I kind of wanted to race this thing, but we only have one front bumper, and that's pretty much it. We don't really have anything else going on. My goal would just put on some Auses, something like that. I don't know, multi-spokes I feel like kind of suit this car for whatever reason. I definitely don't want to put center locking. I definitely want to put center locking Aus wheels on this thing. These actually don't even look that bad. These don't actually look that bad. I feel like they kind of suit it. What's the... Okay, it's 5 locks. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Well, actually, it doesn't look that bad. I don't know if I want to keep them in chrome, though. We go 17s. I don't really want to go 18s. 18s look too big, I think. I think once we lower this thing, it's also going to look quite a lot better. So, like I said, I'm going to build the standard engine as much as I possibly can. What are we looking at here? It's a 6-speed by the looks of things. Like I said, I'm just going to build this thing up as much as I possibly can with the standard engine that's in it, and then put race parts everywhere else, just so we can have them be adjustable, and then just kind of race this thing and see what it's like. It's weird seeing this in the game due to the fact that I used to see this on the roads so often, right? And then now they just randomly disappeared. Just randomly just got up and vanished completely off the face of the earth. Like, I haven't seen one of these things in years. Genuinely years. Alright, what does it sound like? That sounds pretty decent. It's a little raspier. It doesn't sound like a FORZA on there anymore. Boy, that sounds good. I'm gonna put that on. That sounds pretty decent. What are we looking at for stats here? I mean, it's only an S1. That weight is the thing that just baffles me. How? 915 kilos. It's ridiculous. That is so light. It's also front wheel drive as well, but that is so incredibly light. Okay. I will slap a tune onto this thing, just a little bit of a basic setup. Again, it's a front wheel drive, so I need to really be careful with the way I build it, but apart from that... Actually, should I put... I have an idea. Oh, I have an idea. Should I put all the big boy aero on it as well? Due to the fact that since we're gonna try and like kind of race this thing and give it as much power as we possibly can, and also keep a front wheel drive, but I do still want to have as much grip as I possibly can. So if we do this and bring this thing up to 920 kilos, but its lateral G's apparently go up to 1.9. We barely gone up. See, I want to try and have this thing still handle really well at the same time, if that makes sense. Alright, one sec. I'll come back. Alright, what about design and paints? What are we looking at for paints here? I kind of really wanted to keep the original wing on it, right? The one that came with this car. A red, of course. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen... Maybe a grey? Have I ever seen this thing in grey? I don't really remember. I probably have at some point. I just feel like grey is such a colour that this would come in. I don't know. But I do like the standard colours on this thing. Black kind of hides a lot of detail though, but it still looks quite decent. I don't think red's a good color for this thing. I love the little amber like indicators as well on the side and on the front. It just looks funny, even on the back actually, and especially with the black paint. I think it looks good. Right, for the wheels, let's change the wheel color. I don't really want these things to be that color. I kind of still want them to be like a shiny color, but I don't want them to be like chrome, which is what they are now. So maybe we go with something like this, either a brushed or a steel brushed kind of color, because this just looks way too chromy for my liking. Aluminium brushed, I think we can go with these, just a little bit brighter in color, or I guess a little bit brighter just in general, without them being like full on chrome, because I don't think they look that good on chrome with or in chrome on this guy. All right, that's not too bad. We'll work with this. It really doesn't sound that bad. I genuinely thought it was going to sound a lot worse. Usually front-wheel drive cars, or sorry, usually four-cylinder cars in this game, especially non-rally cars, they don't really sound that great. Oh, it's got so much front-end grip. Trying to see what the diff is like, because that is the one thing that's very important to get right. Usually with front-wheel drive cars in this game, you just kind of almost max it out, the acceleration, and you should be fine. I'm trying to see what we can work with. It's good. It's good. I made it so it's kind of sharp turning in, but I think the balance is there. Oh my god, this is nice to drive. Okay. Where do I bring it? Do I fully just go straight back to the Golden Toga again? I feel like it's only been a week since I've revisited it. To be honest though, I feel like people got bored of it the last time because I kept doing it every single time I was building a car, I would bring it over onto the Golden Toga. See, the thing is, I can't bring this thing onto a Rivals event because it's just not going to be good, right? If I don't bring this thing onto somewhere where it's going to be decent enough and like not really care about time that much, I guess the Golden Toga track is a good choice, right? Because it's not something that I really care about that much when it comes to times, right? Usually what you want to build is build the car at the top of the class, right? So this is now kind of in the middle of S1. And again, like I said, it's not really like I care that much, but this is a small and tight track, and I think like this car would be really good for it, especially this is barely it doesn't even weigh a ton, you know? That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Like, if I want to build this thing just with the standard setup, whatever's on it, I kind of don't really want to go and, you know, take it on a Rivals event and be like, oh yeah, I got like 7,000 in the world. It's like what's the point in doing that? Whereas this is like a kind of an offline. Well, I like the interior. Is that a Momo steering wheel, a standard? That's very cool. I didn't know that this game with a Momo was standard. I knew Subarus did. I know Subarus had a... I immediately landed and immediately crashed into the wall. Yeah, that front wheel drive, I need to, especially when I'm at lower speeds, I need to really ease up. I mean, we are trying to set 450 horsepower or something just through the front wheels. So maybe at lower speeds I need to try and relax a little bit. We're flooring it. Yeah, there we go. I did make my gears a little bit too long, I think. Okay, I guess I'll just work around it now. If I crash again, I'll probably end up... Yeah, if I properly crash, I'll probably end up changing my gear ratios. I want to make them a lot. I think I might make them a lot longer. Oh, the balance is so amazing on it though. Just how you can throw it into corners and that. It is fantastic to drive. Sometimes I miss just driving incredibly lightweight cars. A lot of the time now in this game, a lot of the stuff that they add is super heavy, and what you think of lightweight is like, oh yeah, it weighs like 13, 14, 1500 kilos, right? It's not that bad. But if you drive something that's under a ton, it just goes to show how amazing and fun it is to drive those cars. They're so sharp with turning in, so well balanced, so light. And it's noticeable. Like, I'm playing on a controller now. It's not like I'm playing on a wheel or like a full crazy sim setup or anything like that, but just the way the car like grips up in the corners, or how you were throwing it into the corner, and it just grips up and goes. It's just amazing to drive. It's really good. Oh my god. The understeer is crazy. I genuinely have to like fully just control myself when I'm flying this thing. I literally have to be in a straight line to do it. If I'm in any way... Oh my god. Okay, cool. Perfect. That gives me the perfect reason to change my transmission setup. If I lengthen my gears, then it should be perfect, because when I start accelerating, I can just put my power down a little bit more. And it should, with the transmission loss, it should be able to kind of ease up on the acceleration and make it a lot smoother than me just kind of feathering the throttle the entire time when I'm driving, you know? So I basically turned the car into a 5-speed now instead of a 6-speed. So we'll see what it's like now. It will still slip in some areas, 100%. But hopefully not as bad. Oh, third gear is so much more manageable. I wanted to see there as well. I floored it fully. Just to see. Oh, third gear is fantastic. Still a little bit skittish. Still a little bit slippery, but not even nearly as bad as it was before. So just work with third, I think. Yeah, I can actually floor out of corners. If I'm higher up in the revs in third already, which means that I'm already traveling quite a decent speed. I should be good with just planting my foot down and just going, because it's not gonna slip. But if I'm okay at about 6k by the looks of things, at around 6,000 RPM, I think I can just straight up floor it when I'm turning, and it should. Oh my god, I miss going at that speed around that corner. There's not really a lot of cars that can do it. But going flat out in that corner. If you're going all the way down to A class, then you should easily be able to do it. But this is an S1. Like, this is half a class higher than the A1 classes. Or the A class cars, so. Yeah, you just still have to remember this is a front wheel drive car when you're doing these runs. But genuinely, it is a fantastic car to drive. It's so much fun ragging about a front wheel drive car. People always say, oh yeah, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive is always better. It depends on the conditions, and it depends on what or how you want to drive a car. Because sometimes a super crazy lightweight front wheel drive car is incredibly fun to drive. Why do you think Clios, for example, old Clios, why do you think they sell really well? Why do you think old Meganes sell really well? Cars that weigh like 1,200 kilos in like the modern day age. Why do you think people love driving stuff like that? Why do you think people love driving the GR Yaris so much? That thing is a little rocket. The thing is though with that car is that it still isn't like super lightweight or okay. Oh god, sketchy. It's not still super lightweight because it can be even lighter if they just left it as a front wheel drive. But they made it as a little rally car. But there is a market and there is a reason that people buy these little lightweight cars. It's just they're so much fun to drive. That's why Ford Fiestas STs, they lasted for so long. That's why I think nowadays even the Polo GTI is probably just a more fun car to drive than the Golf GTI, because it's smaller and lighter, and it feels more fun and more nimble. That's the one thing I miss about my GTI that I had. I had a Mark V GTI. That thing I think weighs about 1,300 kilos, right? Something like that. And it was so much fun. 200 horsepower, 200 front wheels. It was so much fun car to drive, man. And I miss it sometimes. I miss driving like a lightweight car that's got a decent amount of power, and it's front wheel drive. There is just something enjoyable about driving it, especially if it's balanced really nicely. Alright, like I think the Mark V GTI is probably one of the really nice ones when it comes to balanced cars. It just feels really, really good to drive. Alright. 433. I need to have a look at some. 1 second. I need to have a look at the old Discord, because I want to have a look at the golden toge times. So in S1, okay, S1 cars go all the way down to 408, right? The fastest front-wheel drive car on the track is a Ford Focus RS Mark 1 that did a 435. So this is faster. The only thing about this is that it does have, I think, a lot more power. And it's a lot lighter than the Focus RS. And that was also in A-Class. The thing is, though, I don't really care. This isn't to try and go against any of those times that are on my Discord, but it is just so I can have a little bit of fun driving this thing. It is a really, really nice car. Try get it for yourselves. Let me know what you think of it. Like I said before, like, it's just, there's something so nice and special about driving a car like this, where it's just really, really light, has a ton of grip, and it's front wheel drive. It's just something fun. The way the balance is just, it's super, super interesting. You just have to be very, really careful with the amount of power that you put down. I think if I reduce the power of this thing and bring it down to A-Class, it could genuinely be a really nice and competitive car if you want to try and break some of the records on the golden toge for A-Class. So if you bring it all the way down to A-Class, I think this could be really, really fun. Because you can just constantly keep your speed up, though. That's the thing, right? The thing is that the thing that makes this car go a little bit too wide or a little bit too far out is literally just understeer, and it's the amount of power that you just put down as you're exiting corners. Apart from that, the car just feels like so light on its feet, basically. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you for watching, everybody. I really do hope you enjoyed today's video. With the Mitsubishi FTO, I love this little thing. Try it out for yourselves. You get it for 20 points on this week's festival playlist. So, like I said, anybody can get it. Have a go at it yourselves. Let me know what you think of it. I love playing with cars like this. I don't want every time I go on this game to be like, this is the fastest car, this is the most extreme car, this is the whatever. I like cars like this, where it's just kind of a little bit more like focused on driving and just having a bit of fun with the cars in the game, you know? So, anyway, try it out for yourselves. Let me know what you think. I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of this clip of me driving on the golden toge on the third-person perspective, or in the third-person perspective. And, yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Goodbye.